Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our live orientation for Spring 2 2026 here at Catholic International University. I'm Stephanie Garrett, the Director of Library and Learning Services and your faculty advisor to student life, and I'm so glad you're here with us tonight. Tonight is brought to you by Allison Spataco, the Director of Student Life, and Maritza Mejia, our Student Life Manager and Success Coach for Spanish programs. Together, we make up your student life team and are here to help you feel connected, supported, and ready to flourish during your time at Catholic International University. Before we get started, I wanted to take a moment and go around the room and let each of you introduce yourself, where you're from, and what program you've signed up for. Because it's always inspiring to see all the places our students are from. So, Allison, I'll let you start and then you can pick the next person.
Sure. So I'm Allison Spataco. I'm the Director of Student Life, and I'm located in the suburbs of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I'm happy to be here. Maritza?
Hello, I'm Marisa Mejia, student life manager for the Spanish program. I'm based in Florida. I'm from Colombia, and I'll be happy to help you anything that you need in student life. So let's go to Mark.
Oh,
Oh,
Mark,
Martha,
you're muted. The lower left corner of your screen. It should open up your
Got
clipboard.
it.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Mark Cheplow from the suburbs of Boston. And I'm in the master's program. And the first course that I'm taking is the Catholic theological tradition. The master's is with a concentration in Catholic social teaching.
Wonderful.
awesome.
Thank
Very
you.
exciting. I've just added a whole bunch of new books for Catholic
Mm.
social teaching to the
Excellent.
library. Okay, David, would you like to turn on your mic and introduce yourself? Or if you can't turn on your mic, you're welcome to put it in the chat. And while we see if David is going to be able to get his microphone on or go to the chat, I am going to um, go through a couple of other things before we get started and while we wait to see if David jumps in. So I just wanted to give you a quick reminder that tonight's session is designed to walk you through the technology that powers our online campus and answer many of those common first week questions that students have. And it also is going to helpfully give you the confidence you need as you begin your academic journey. Just as a quick reminder, tonight's session is a bonus. You will still need to complete the required orientation course in Canvas, and Allison will go into more details on that as we go through the evening. Before we begin, I wanted to take a minute to also go over a few Zoom housekeeping basics so everything runs smoothly. As you've noticed, when you came in, your microphones are muted by default. And once we begin, we're going to ask you to keep them off until we have question and answers. And if your internet connection gets a little spotty, feel free to stop your video. That usually helps. Even though we love to see your smiling faces, we understand. You're welcome to drop questions into the chat at any time during the session, and we'll do our best to answer as many as possible during the Q&A. And when we get to that point, you can also use the raise your hand feature to turn on your mic and ask questions directly. And the best experience for tonight is the speaker view. So you can go to the top right corner of your screen and select speaker view. And finally, as you leave the meeting this evening, a short survey will pop up in your browser. Please take a moment to fill it out. We value your feedback and it helps us keep making these sessions better. And so I'm going to now hand the screen and the microphone over to Allison.
Thank you. All right, let me share my screen. Okay, I hope everyone can see that. So welcome to the live orientation course. Just to quickly go over what our goals are, it's to prepare you for your virtual classes, learn about the Student Life Center and what we have to offer there, and of course, explore the library, the virtual library, 24/7 virtual library with our lovely librarian, Stephanie. Okay. So before we start, we'll do a prayer, as we do like to do at Catholic International. So please join me. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Gracious God, we thank you for this new school year. We place before you all the students, professors, administrators, and staff. Grant the student minds that are eager to learn, hearts that are open to friendship, and the courage to ask good questions. Help the professors to be patient and wise in their guidance. Protect everyone from harm and illness, and remind them that they are never alone. Help us all to grow in knowledge and wisdom and to use our gifts in service to others. In your name we pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. All right. So we have this lovely map that Stephanie put together, and Maritza and I have been working with her to, you know, implement into our orientation course. So it kind of makes our virtual university have a brick and mortar feel so you can understand what each aspect of the university does. So, like our main website, the one you probably went on to find when you first started looking into the universities and you found us, was catholicu.edu. So that's like the archway. That's the how you enter into the university is through our website, and from there you really can get to everything else. You can get to Populi. You've probably been on Populi because you registered for your classes and you signed up for your first classes, so you've been on there. So that's like the administration building. In Populi, you can do registration, pay your bills, see announcements. There's lots of administrative works that you can do in Populi. In Canvas, that's like the classrooms as building on a campus. That's the student life building. So in Canvas is where you'll access your course, you access the student life course, your orientation course. It's where you do all the learning parts. Within Canvas, so within the classroom building, we have the chapel and the virtual cafe. So the chapel, we have tons of resources in there, prayer resources. You can ask for intentions. You can explore our rosary. We have the Ave Maria sung by alumni. So just really wonderful resources to increase your prayer life and increase your faith. And then the virtual cafe is kind of how you can come together as a community with your fellow students. You can talk to them. There are forums, there are Q&A spots, and just kind of how you can get in there and talk to each other and socialize. And then the last building is the library. So that's kind of self-explanatory. It's the library. It's where the books are. Except our books are all virtual, so you won't actually get to be picking a book off the shelf, but Stephanie is a real life librarian and she can really help you find the resources you need. I believe in the chat, Stephanie put a wonderful link to this map and some more information about what everything does, but we will dive into what everything does in this presentation. But that is a good resource to have in the chat if you want to save that document. So Populi, like I said, it's the administration building. So you can do registration, payments, information, and then there's your grades and your transcripts, which, obviously is important. You want to see how you did after you're done your courses. You use your username and password. You just fill them in right here. Each student is assigned a @catholicu.edu email address to be used for all the official university communication. So you will not receive communication to your personal email from us anymore. You should have received the initial welcome email from myself in your personal email and also said in there we won't be using that anymore. We only communicate to the catholicu.edu email. So when you sign up for meetings or um, events like this, it's important to use that email just so that we make sure you can see the link. If we send you I know we have the steps to how to do proctored exams later. Some students are requesting access to their to see it, to view it, because they're using their personal to open it and not their Catholic IU. So just make sure you're using that because you don't have to request access. Then you can just see it automatically. So documents like that, it's just great to get in that mindset. To activate your email, you just go onto gmail.com, enter the email address that we provided in the setup message from Populi. And you can access your student email directly through the Populi by clicking on the email tab at the top of the page. So that's Populi. Then we also have the links to financial aid. So, of course, we want to make sure you understand that you can see all this stuff, how to access financial aid. We're not hiding any of it. We want to make sure you can get to it. So it's right at the top of your dashboard, of your home screen. You'll see home, and there'll be dashboard, to-dos, groups, and links. Click the links, and you can see all your financial aid information you need. If you do have questions, here's the correct person to reach out to. So if you have questions about payments, balances, military benefits, or discounts, you can email student accounts. The financial aid office helps with FAFSA, Pell Grants, and federal loans. Yes.
I just wanted to share right quick. Don't feel like you have to rush to write this down. In the link
Right.
I sent you, the last page has all these numbers in it.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Stephanie. Yes. And then institutional aid office, questions about the aid you've received from the university itself. And then, of course, if you need help with registration, dropping a course, or withdrawing, you can reach out to the registrar's office. They are happy to help you get through any of those issues. In Canvas, so this is, like I said, the classrooms and student life. You use your assigned username from the admissions and password that you created, that same as Populi. And this is our learning management system. So this is where you complete your assignments. This is where you get you do your readings, any discussion forums that your professor wishes you to participate in. This is where you'll do that. If your class does have a synchronous session, you'll participate in that then, or you'll watch the video recordings that your professor has provided for you if you're not doing synchronous, if there is not a synchronous portion. This is where you can also send emails to teachers. So you can, of course, use your Catholic IU email address, but there's also a tab over here on the left. You can see this is a screenshot of Canvas. There's a tab over here. Is this this is that you do your has like it's like an email for Canvas, and you can email your professor's questions straight through there. This is also where you have your teachers will be posting your announcements about the course. So make sure you're checking out that, as well as announcements from us as well. In the announcements tab, we'll have, all the events coming up in student life. So make sure you're checking that out as well. This is also where you complete the orientation course requirements. So your grades and transcripts will be locked until you complete those requirements. Upon completion, I will go ahead and unlock them, or Mertza will go ahead and unlock them, and then you'll be able to see your final grades and transcripts. We also really encourage you just to do the orientation course before you start, just because it has information to help you do well. So we know it kind of benefits you if you complete it beforehand. And then, of course, we have tons of resources in student life for you, whether it's mental health resources or job postings. We have all the information you're hearing tonight in there in different formats. So definitely check it out. One thing to note about our courses, they last 8 weeks. There are a couple 12-week classes, but for the most part, our classes are 8 weeks, and they average 17 hours of study per week. Now, of course, you might be, advanced, so you might not need as much, or you might need a little more if you have a really busy schedule and you don't, only can do a little bit here and there. But we like you to keep in mind that we, don't suggest overloading your courses each term, because it does take, about 17 hours of study per week. So if you're taking 2 classes, that's a lot of hours in a week, and, you have a life. So try not to overdo it too much for yourself. Oh, I clicked the link. Oops. There we go. Pronto. So this is like instant messaging. It's very quick, very fast messaging with different groups. So each course that you're in will have a Pronto chat. Pronto is embedded inside of Canvas, so you don't need to worry. Everything's right there on the bottom. You can download the Pronto app and sign in through that, which I, recommend if you want to get them on your phone. Um, each course has a class, student life or a chat. Student life has a chat. Your orientation course has a chat. Then the library has a chat. So those are automatically, you're going to be in all of those. There are a few optional groups that if you wish to join, you can let us know, and we'll add you. This is a theological discussions group. So if you really, want to ponder really deep theological thoughts, we encourage you to do so in this group rather than, doing it in the student life group, which in the past was where students were doing it, which was fine, except when we do announcements or other, students have a question about something else, it can get lost in those discussions. So we create this theological discussions group, and that's the place to go and talk with your fellow students. We are, able to see everything that happens and monitor it, but for the most part, we let the students talk with amongst themselves. We don't get too involved in that, just to give you that sense of community and sense of relationship building. And then we have a military group. So if you were in the military, please let us know. We'll gladly connect you to that group so you can chat with your fellow military. And if you're current or retired, does not matter which branch, anything. Please let us know. We'd love to put you in it so you can talk with them. You want to make sure, now I said each course has a Pronto group. Not every teacher will use it, not every professor. So make sure you check with them if they're going to be using that as an informal communication with the students, because some will, if you use that to ask like, hey, is this assignment due tonight at 11 p.m. and it's 10 p.m., they might not check in. They might not get the notifications to their phone. So you don't want to rely on that and then be like, well, they never answered me. So like you have to ask because it is a very informal way and not every professor is going to use it. So just double check. And if you are not sure, always just go back on using email because that is definitely what all professors will use definitely. Some will use Pronto. I'm going to just quickly show you where all this stuff is in Canvas. So this is your dashboard when you first get on Canvas. So for me, I have student life and then every orientation course that I've been a part of because I'm not in any of the courses. So I don't have the courses, but yours will all be different courses that you take. So we'll go into student life real quick. So within student life, there is, there's the homepage. There's a quick link to the library over here on the left. If you go down, you'll see we have an English and Spanish because we have Spanish programs as well that so works with the Spanish students, and it's just a great that we do a lot of overlap together, but also, separate as well. Some plain Spanish events, which is I don't understand anything they say, but it's pretty cool. And then if you go down, we have our virtual cafes, like I said, our virtual chapel, reception room. We have the military services page, but the resource center is what I wanted to show you. Has lots of great resources in here. We have these two awesome videos by Dr. Harvey, one of our professors here, about formatting and citation expectations. These are optional. They're also in the orientation course, but they're completely optional. And analyzing a paper. I strongly recommend if you haven't been studying in a while and you're returning to studies, it's a great way to just refresh on how things should work. And he really breaks it down and explains it well. Then below we have, how to get your student email, a guide to that, setting up, Canvas, getting the most of it. We have Populi. This is measured learning, which we will go over later, and later, I mean, we have a session before final exams, so not later tonight, later in the semester. If every semester at the end there's finals, every course will do something different, but a lot of them have proctored exams. If your course is one that has a proctored exam, the couple days before the exam window opens, we have a session with Student Life to go over. We have a couple sessions, actually, different times to accommodate multiple people in different time zones. How to do a proctored exam. So if you are in one of those courses and you find out later, in the semester that your course is going to be one of the courses that has a proctored exam, please sign up for the proctored exam session with us, and we'll help you set everything up and get yourself prepared so you're not figuring it out on your own because it can be complicated and overwhelming, and we don't want you to waste time trying to set things up and not focusing on the content portion of the exam. We also have all the resources in here, so if you want to dive in beforehand and give yourself a little bit of leeway in how to do everything, you can. We have the bookstore, so check that out. You can get your books from there, but also has great merchandise, some cute hats on there if you're into hats. We have the library access and then the career services page. So that, this is the student life page in student life course, you could say, inside of Canvas. So make sure you check that out before you start your courses. Now I'm going to pass it over to Stephanie to talk about what the library has to offer. And Stephanie, just tell me when to switch slides.
Thank you, Allison. So, as your director of library and learning, I'm the director of library and learning services. So that means I can help you with books, digital resources, research help, and writing support, and just about anything else. I've been a tutor in the past as well. So, when it comes to just planning your academic studies, time management, things like that, you can come to the library for help. Now, when Allison showed you just a moment ago the student life page and the resource center, she showed you the bookstore. That is for when you want print books, because a lot of us still like to work in print. But because we're a global university with students all around the world, and not everybody has next day or same day delivery with Amazon, we work very hard to provide you with all of your course material in a digital format. And sometimes you can download it and print it, and sometimes you can't. And that is not determined by us. That is determined by the digital rights of how it was published. So we don't have a control over that. But as much as possible, we try to provide you with resources that you can both download and print. If you'll go to the next slide, Allison. Okay, there are three ways to get to the library. When you're in your Canvas classroom, you can, over here on your toolbar in a Canvas module, it will take you to the library. You can access the library also from the Catholic International Gateway, the website. You go to current students, and this will link you to the library. And both of those take you to this third page here, the actual website where the library lives. And my preference as your librarian is that you access it either through option 2 or option 3 directly, because while it is convenient to get to it in Canvas, it slows everything down because Canvas doesn't take you out to the website. It tries to pull the library website in to it. And so a lot of times the databases will time out because of the extra step. So be sure that you bookmark this website, or just know that you go to Catholic IU and go to library to get to the library. And also on that page, um, there there is help in there for using sources, how to reference Chicago Turabian, anything you need help with. You can make an appointment with me on my calendar for a day or time that works best for you. So I get really busy during week 3 when people have to submit their paper proposals and are looking for resources. And then at the end of the term, when they're want to get all their citations right, I check a lot of papers for citation correctness as well as just proofreading. You can come to the library and get help with that. And then during week 3, also, I will have a library session in the evening. Usually I run it about the same program about 3 times during the week. So you can come and learn how to use the library resources. Because if you walk into a library, you know how to pick up a book and use it. When you use the digital library, it is different. It is more difficult. It doesn't work like Google. And every book can operate differently depending on the platform it lives on. So do take advantage of week 3. Okay, Allison, next slide. So when you're in here and you're on the page, just know this is a directory of different places that, like different rooms in the library. There's a reference section. You can see all the databases. We have a special collection of ancient Greek and Latin works in the Loeb Classical Libraries. You can click on the where it says Biblioteca, and you can interface with the library in Spanish. Has all the same resources. It's just the interface is different. And then we have these quick links to popular resources. So Atla and JSTOR are our two big databases that are most used. The New Catholic Encyclopedia is the most used reference item we have, and we have it as a database instead of 15 to 22 volumes. And then I believe in 503, you will get a lot of use out of the Oxford Christian Dictionary or Oxford Dictionary of the Christian Church, Mark. So that's right here because 503 and 510, I believe, have to use that a lot. And then the others are where we have our book collections, where we buy our books from, and so that are electronic. Next slide. Okay, now there is something else, and I'm going to take you over to those in just a minute. But I said earlier that we are trying to provide you with as much of your course material as possible in electronic format. And so to make that easy for you to use, if your course has reserves, it will be in your modules and it'll say course reserves from the Catholic International Library. And when you click that, if you go to the next page, Allison, it will pop up the books your professor wants you to use in your class. And right now, these are the classes this term that have a course reserve guide. Um, and I just finished 410 and 451 today, so I'll link those. But what I'm going to do is go and show you my Canvas because I have a bit more in there than Allison has in hers. So you will get to see a little more how a class looks. So hang on just one second and I'll open that up. Let me get a new tab and move it over here and share. Okay, so when I sent over that document with links, it is going to have it's going to have instructions for going to Canvas. I have it bookmarked here. It's Canvas or catholicu.instructure.com is what takes you to Canvas, and you'll log in. And once you do that, you're in the classrooms. Okay. And so you're kind of like your dashboard is like standing in the hallway and which class do I go to? So you could go hang out with student life between classes or finish your orientation. But then you're going to have whatever classes you're in for the term, you're going to have right there. They're going to pop up starting tomorrow morning. They should all be opened by 5 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So check your dashboard and you will see your classes, or you will get a email that says accept your invite to the class, and then it pops up in here. And when you go to that class, you click on it. I'm going to open this one from last spring. Okay. So you're going to have an introduction. Usually you click on the first thing, and it'll take you to introduce yourself and your student and your professor. So here on instructor, some of them take you directly to this page. This one took you to the modules. So the first thing you'll do with each class is you'll read about your instructors, and then you'll be asked to post about you so they can get to know you and you can get to know them. And then if you go back to the home page, you're going to see this is for each week of the class what the focus is going to be. And you can easily click on it, and it's going to take you to the modules, or some of them open directly up. It depends on how each professor sets theirs up. But if you're trying to get back to something, you can see it went here to modules, and we'll see each week. We can see this is week 1 because it's all numbered 1. This is week 2. This is week 3. And in here, if your course has its course reserve guide, you click and it's going to open up. And so for this class here, we're providing almost all of the content. And sometimes the professor has linked it in your module as well, but you can always go to this one-stop shop to see all your readings when we do that. But when you're going through your week, what you're going to do is once you finish doing your introductions, then you want to start by clicking on the first one and going through your readings. And you can see this professor had already linked these and then had a lot of the readings, and then we put them all in the module. So sometimes they're easy. Sometimes you have to go back to the course reserve guide to find the book. A lot of that also deals with digital rights and how we're able to share it. So it's not just trying to be, and then you can, once you've completed everything on this page, you can just hit next. And this one, he had a recording. And then you go next. And the next thing after you've done those first 2 steps, there's usually a discussion with a date that those discussions are due. Some professors have that you need to have completed that discussion by Tuesday and then commented on somebody else's entry by Thursday. So you have to take a look. And the other thing that can help you see over here on the left is the syllabus for the class. So you can read through the syllabus and see that they probably have all of those dates and times left in there. Usually right up here at the top, they will tell you how they want you to contact them. Okay. And so there will be the contact information. And the other thing is this inbox right here. This is mail within Canvas. It's not to your CDU or catholicu.edu address. And a lot of times professors like that as well because they can work on your class. Everything's right there for the class. So I would try that. All right, Allison, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Okay, and share.
I'm not going to, I could talk all day about the library, so that's why we don't go in depth today.
All right. Oh, did you want to go over one more slide?
Oh, yeah, I do have one more slide. So, reasons to use the library, because, as a librarian, I've been told for years, we don't need you anymore. Everything is digital, or there's Google. Well, yes, I'm going to tell you, if you want to get the best grades possible, you need the library and the librarian, because I can make sure you find peer-reviewed, reliable sources that are academic and appropriate for you. Because, yes, there's a lot of stuff out there on the web from Bishop Barron to Catholic Answers, but for the most part, that is for the person in the pew to help them deepen their faith. It is not for theological exploration at what you're doing, especially at the master's level. So I can help you find those sources. I can help you learn how to approach research. We'll help you with your writing, help you understand different types of resources and how to use them. And then I also provide learning and tutoring support. Next.
Hmm.
So there's where you can reach me.
I
And if
think that's
nothing else,
also in the guide too, right?
yes,
That
yes,
the
it's all
link.
in the guide. And then Albert Einstein was right. Just know where the library is and you get everything else figured out.
Exactly. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank
So
you,
yes,
Allison.
I encourage you to take advantage of booking an appointment with Stephanie when you have those papers throughout your studies. She really will help you get the best grade possible, so definitely use them. And we're a small community, so we talk. Your professor will know if Stephanie helped you, and that's good. It looked good on you if you got help from Stephanie and didn't go out to the AI or the Google. All right, so back to student life real quick. We have weekly office hours. So this week's office hour is live orientation, but we only opened it this week's to students who are starting in the new term. But every week we have something going on. And so next week is a St. Patrick's Day themed celebration. But we try to do something different. So this week, like I said, is study because we're getting you ready. We also do study nights, like time to study when you're getting exam tips and getting you prepared with those proctored exams, like I told you. So look for that as it gets closer to finals. But we also do library research nights, just how to, in depth how to find those resources. Stephanie will go have a special night for that. Then we have faith-based nights. We do rosary, we pray the rosary, we have adoration. We did a special Advent night. We'll do something for Lent as well coming up. So, really getting ourselves connected to our faith and sharing that what we have in common there in our faith. And then we like to have fun too. So you can see some screenshots of our summer splash last summer. I was not there. I was on maternity leave, but it was a great time. And here's the three of us before our Christmas party last year. We did an ugly Christmas sweater party. So we try to do something like that. We've also done bingo, scavenger hunts, trivia nights. We did a Constitution Day trivia session that was really fun. And they a lot of times have prizes. You might get a nice, like I said, a nice Catholic IU hat or maybe one of those travel mugs. So we also do Amazon gift cards or some what was the one we did, Stephanie? Oh, it's the local coffee, like wherever you are. So I guess in outside of Boston, it's Dunkin' everything. But we try to have some fun with it. So the purpose of student life office hours is to really connect us as a community in one of those three ways and bring us together face to face when we can't always be together physically. So that is the end of our live orientation. Like I said, I'm Allison, and we have Stephanie and Maritza, and we're always here to help you. So I will open the floor to questions now. I'm going to stop sharing. Um, Mark, if you have any pressing questions?
Yeah, my biggest pressing question was where do I find the course when it opens? But it sounds like I go to the dashboard on Canvas.
hmm
And Allison, thank you for helping connecting me with the IT person because he was able to get me back in. So
Perfect. I don't know why that happened. I mean, Stephanie writes he was in last week on Canvas, and then when he went to get in this week, his username and password would not work. So
yeah,
I'm glad that Dan was able to help you. He's great in IT. So
yeah, he did. So when you release the course, I will be able to go into the dashboard tab
Mhm.
on Canvas and get into the course that
Yeah,
Stephanie
I
was showing
believe
us.
you get an invitation first in your email.
Okay.
So
Kind of like
check
you
your
did for student life and orientation. You should have
yeah.
gotten those in your
You'll
email
get Friday morning once the courses open, and
tomorrow.
professors have until like 5 o'clock to have everything published. And once then it publishes and it goes live, I believe you first get an invitation to the course in your Catholic IU email. So you accept
Okay.
the invitation and then it loads it into your dashboard
Yes,
where
so
you will
most
see it.
professors have them in, by around noon, but starting around one, our one of our coworkers, Judy, starts pressing the faculty like, why isn't it loaded? Why isn't it loaded? So that they're all in by
Yeah,
5
that's
and
great.
students can have the weekend to preview everything before the classes actually officially start on Monday. So don't panic. But if for some reason it isn't loaded by 5, shoot Student Life an email and we'll contact Judy and see what she can contact the professor. But give them to at least 5 before you panic.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. And then what in the syllabus I noticed that the 25% of the grade was the discussion. I'll find the discussion in the same section of the dashboard, like when I open up the course.
Yep.
Here, I'll
The
show you
discussion
that
will be
again.
posted, and then
Let me
Yeah, we can show you. Yeah, Stephanie will show
open
you real quick what that looks like so you at least you can prepare.
Okay, let me go back to Canvas. Log in again. So here I'm going to go back over here to Catholic Social Teaching, 520. And it'll be within each week. So one of
okay,
the ways like to keep up and look, yes, this shows you what each week is doing. When I used Canvas as a student, I just like to go to the modules and kind of see. Let me put this in student view right quick.
Yeah, we have
There we
different
go.
views as
Take
moderator.
some extra things out of there. So I like to go down and you do your readings, you read the lecture, and then look, if I've done this, I've done this, there's the discussion. And
okay,
see, it shows the 10 points that you get for participating in that discussion. We'll open this up. So this will be the guidelines
You
and
just
oh,
hit
perfect.
reply.
what they want to answer. And then you just hit reply and you put in your answer.
This is a
Um,
golden, of
and
course.
then once everybody's replied, then he's probably going to want you to go back and read everybody else's and then do replies to theirs.
Typically,
Okay,
it's reply to 2 of your classmates' posts, usually, at least in
okay,
my experience.
Yes.
okay,
And usually they
okay.
want 250 to 500 words in most cases. So sometimes I'm one of those people that likes to wordsmith a lot. So I would type it up in my word processor like Microsoft Word or Google Docs, check it, and then I would post it, copy and paste it in there.
Yeah, that's what I do for long emails
Yeah,
for
Yes,
work.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. So that is how that works.
yeah,
that's great. Well, I
Um,
already did the orientation, the online orientation. That all
yes.
set.
okay.
So
Yay. I was also going to run through this real quick since we've got time. So in that guide, and Allison will probably share it in email and on Pronto afterwards too,
Mhm.
but in that guide I linked in. So we see the map and then it takes you through each one. So what you can find there.
oh, nice.
And then the next one is in Populi, you can find. And actually, I really kind of recommend you print this off and keep it. And in each one, write down because Populi will have a password and your ID and password, and Canvas has an ID and password and they're not they can have the same password if you choose, but the ID is different. And you're going to need to know your Populi ID and password when you access library resources because our library is on the web. Anyone can look at that material on there, but a lot of things our digital rights only allow students and faculty and staff to use them. And so it will, if when you come across something that's proprietary, it pauses and asks you for your Populi ID and password. And it's also will help you if you have them written down, you're prepared for final exams where you can't copy and paste them. You have to know them and put them into the Guardian browser. So,
Oh, okay. That's good to
So
know.
yeah, just have that recorded. But there's links to go and show you each of these things. One of the things we didn't talk about are calendars. You are on Eastern time being in Boston, so you're okay because you're on the same time zone that the
Gotcha.
university is on. I'm in Texas. I'm in Central Time. We have students in Africa, Malaysia, Mountain Time,
Sure, yeah.
Pacific Time. And so learning to use your dashboards or your calendars in certain places are important. So when you're in Canvas and you use the calendar, it's going to be show everything at your time for your time zone. When you're in Populi, it shows everything at the school's time on Eastern. And if you use your Google Calendar, it's going to, like when you make an appointment with me, it's going to show you the times in your time zone and then load in my time zone. So just it's something to pay attention to. So and then the library, yeah, it just talks about the little different things in there, how to get a research appointment, how to get a writing appointment, how to see, different things. And then the last thing is a directory of all those phone numbers and more that
Oh, nice.
Allison had on one of the slides. So you'll be able to find, how to get a hold of your graduate advisor, if you need the registrar. Um, here at the library again, student life, IT, the bookstore, all those general help numbers are on there. So,
That's
so it
excellent.
is a good takeaway.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks it.
Okay. Maritza.
Yeah,
Maritza graduated from Catholic International University when it was Catholic
distance
Distance
university.
University. So she's been through our process as a student. So
Mhm.
what would you like to share as a former student, Maritza? Some
Okay.
best
First of
practices.
all, Mark, thank you for choosing Catholic International University as your institution. Uh, I just want to share that I picked this university for three reasons. First, because it was fully online. To study fully online is for moms is a blessing
Sure.
because I was at home with the kids, and so it was really convenient for me to be with my teenagers at that time. And second, the price is one of the best. It's a good in the market. It's really a good option to take an online course, a master degree or any degree for a reasonable price. Also, the electives, I really compare with other universities, the electives, and I was fascinated with the electives that Catholic International offers. So take advantage of this opportunity. At the time that I studied, I didn't have my precious Stephanie. Now we have a librarian that is incredibly helpful to find resources, material, um, go and help you with your citation if you have to present an essay or you find a project. Please make an appointment before with enough time. Check the weekend hours, um, and yes, and prepare your work. And it will make a totally difference if you revise the way that you have to go through Stephanie. She is very into the details, and each you will save a lot of points for not.
And I promise this is not the Stephanie Sales Hour. It's just I do a lot of things. Sorry.
She's just great.
Yes, but you have to reserve your space, so you have your time to go over
Sure.
your citations and everything. But the resource that we have here in this paper, basically, you go through and you have everything in there. And so at the beginning, you will feel a little bit, oh my God, I'm going to be able to do this. But just breathe, take one day at a time. You will be able to do it. Don't look at the whole syllables, the 8 weeks, all the readings, everything that you had to do because you will say, I'll not be able to do this. Go week by week, step by step, and you get it.
It's good advice.
Yes, I
Wonderful.
look at the first syllable for the first class. I say, oh my God, am I crazy? How am I going to do this? But when I was in week 3 or 4, I said, oh my God, I have weight. I was able to do it. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's great.
and enjoy the activities that we have. And I, I was yesterday in the study hall, and it was one of the comments that the students did that they enjoy so much to be part of a community in a virtual university.
Mhm.
They thought they were going to be alone, just studying by themselves. But no, we all have a community that we pray together, we share together. For example, at this time, we are sharing our recipes for Lent in the study hall, and we have a very interesting comments and recipes that we are trying each other. So we are a community, a bilingual community that helping each other in prayer time, in our spiritual journey, in our academic journey. So enjoy it.
Thank you. Everybody has been very welcoming and supportive and really quick to get back to me whenever I've had a question. I had a discussion with my academic advisor, which was, fabulous. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh,
We
that's
are really
wonderful.
passionate about our jobs, and we take it with love, care, and compassion. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
It
Well, great.
shows.
And that is, it's almost like it's a vocation for most of the people here. We had accreditation earlier this year, or I guess it was at the end of last year in November. We had to meet
Mhm.
with our accrediting body and go through all of these things. And they work with a lot of other seminaries and other institutions. And I guess that was the biggest takeaway was the fact that they were surprised that all the people there, because they met online with students, they met online with faculty who couldn't be there, with staff, and it's like everybody's on the same page with the mission. And
That's great.
sometimes that scares people because they expect online education to be transactional. Why are you bothering me? I'm going to fill in the blanks and enter, but that's not what we're here for. And we're here for you to have a meaningful educational experience. And it
Seems
will
like
be tough.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
The
Yes, it
readings
is
are the
rigorous.
readings are tough, are long, and you have to dedicate
Yeah,
yourself and have time.
yeah.
But now with the technology, you can read it on audio. So this is the beauty of that. You go to your book, and some of the books are audio. You just download it and you just listen it. You can listen it through your phone and a tablet, and you enjoy it. So it's really amazing how the technology is giving us the opportunity to study in a different way. So you will enjoy it.
I think
Absolutely.
I will. I'm not going to look at the readings as a burden, more of an opportunity.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yes, yes, exactly. That's good. Mhm.
Just
Wonderful.
know, just read the syllabus and know when they're due because a lot of people they think, well, I just have to get it in before the end of next week, so I'll do it all next week. And then they're going, or I'll do it all on the weekend. And then they're like, oh no,
Now,
somebody's
I,
been emailing me.
I've already looked at the syllabus and kind of gotten a taste for how much there is. And so it would be a mistake not to sort of come up with a game plan in terms of getting there, you know, as you every day a little bit.
Right.
Mhm.
Carve out that time each day.
I have a calendar that you go through. So, what are the due dates for this? What are the midterm finals? So, you organize yourself according to your
Yeah.
calendar. Mm.
Yeah, and there's a date for the discussions that I noticed there's a date that where there's a cutoff for the discussion, so you have to have your discussion in each
Each week. Yep.
time
Yes.
period
Yep.
by a certain date. And
Yes. What I did, and it worked pretty well for me, is I did the readings during the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That way, on Monday, I did my discussion forum. On Monday, Tuesday, I was in the discussion forum, posting my and giving feedback to 2, 3 students. You learn so much from the feedback with the other students. It's amazing.
Mhm.
And then the other days were to doing preparation for the essays, research, and the videos that you have to listen. So it's you just organize your time accordingly, and you will find a way that it fits for you.
Exactly. Well, Stephanie just shared some important dates. So, obviously these are all on the university calendar if you go through your Google Calendar on your Gmail. But the important ones, I guess, right now is their course opens tomorrow and begins on Monday. Those are the pressing ones. And if you're available on St. Patrick's Day on Tuesday, join us for a little meet and greet and fun St. Patrick's Day party. Oh, note Holy Week, Easter break. There's no classes. The university is offices will be closed on the 3rd through 5th, but through the whole week leading, not just those dates, there's no classes or university work during that time. The professors know that. So just, enjoy the Easter break and focus on your prayer and your faith and your family. And that time, we definitely take off during that time, especially as a Catholic university. And,
sure.
join us for all these other events coming up. We're happy to have you. Stephanie, did you have
Tell
anything you'd
your
like to say?
classmates to come.
Yeah, tell your classmates to come. Actually, the class that you're in, I saw that David, who was in here earlier, is in that class. So he
Oh,
just
okay,
started.
good.
He started in spring one term, so this is only a second term, so he's also newer as well. But there's some
Oh,
other
okay.
students in that class who have been here this in their second year and they're taking this class. So, chat it up and see who else, you if you have questions, always, ask them too. If you like, did you get this in the reading? It's always good
Sure.
to throw it out there in the pronto chat or whatnot. But, if you have any other questions, let us know. We're happy to help you.
Just in terms of getting joining that theological discussion forum,